Welcome everybody. Today, instead of using a Google app for education, we are going to explore a Web 2.0 tool called Padlet. If you've never used Padlet before, it's kind of like a pinboard, I guess you could call it. You can add pictures, videos, text, music. I love Padlet. I use it a lot for my students when we're trying to collaborate on information because they can just click a link and be taken to my Padlet board. They don't really have to do much or have an account or anything like that. I use it during my PD sessions and things like that. I love, love, love Padlet, and it's super easy to use. So I already have an account, so I would go to the upper left hand or upper right hand corner and click login. But if you don't have an account, it's free. There are paid features, you can pay for it, but I've signed up for the free Padlet version and it works just fine. I get a lot out of it. So if you don't have a Padlet account, create one. It's so worth it. So you could sign up. It's free. I'm gonna go ahead and hit login because I already have an account. My password is saved too. You can see that I've already made a whole bunch of Padlets. I use them a lot in my classrooms, and if you want to use another one or you use it again, you can click on it and open it up. But when you have an account, it will save all of your Padlets and things like that on your account page. I like to either join a Padlet or make a Padlet, like if I'm doing one with a friend or if I'm working collaboratively. I'll hit join a Padlet, but I will just go ahead and start with making a Padlet because you'll need to know how to make one. It's very easy, but we'll go ahead and click the pink plus sign, make a Padlet. There are different ways you can set up your Padlets. If you're going to start with a blank one, you can do like a wall, so it just kind of stacks the different pins like a brick. You can do canvas and connect them with like arrows and stuff. You can make one single stream, which will just stack them on top of each other. Grid is similar to wall, I guess, but more spaced out. Shelf would be dividing them into columns. This one, the shelf one, is real good for like a KWL chart or a KWI chart for teachers. And back channeling allows you to like make it like a chat environment. If you don't want to do a blank Padlet, you can go down and do a template that they have. Now, a lot of, like, you can see just by looking at these templates that people use them for more than just school and teaching. I mean, people, like, this one is a mood board. This one clearly is some kind of, like, pinboard for wedding interests or things like that. So you can really use them for a huge variety of things. You don't necessarily have to create a blank template. I generally just make a blank one and do a wall Padlet, but that's because my students are generally just adding ideas and collaborating with others on it, like commenting on their stuff. So titling, once you've clicked your template, this modify window will open up on the right hand side. You can either close it, I wouldn't until you're done editing it, but you can give your Padlet a title. So generally this is where I ask my question. If I'm gonna use it as school, for school, I'll ask a question. Like maybe I'll do this as a back to school. So what did you do over the summer? Over the summer, question mark. So then I'll add my description and say you can add photos, videos, or text to explain what you did over the summer. That way it'll give my students some more information on what they're supposed to be doing with this Padlet and not just writing a text. They can add pictures if they have pictures from a family event that they went to or something like that. Wallpaper changes this background. You can see you can do some very generic ones. I generally go to more and I find one that I like better than some of the ones that it starts up with. Some of them are really crazy looking and some of them are, I kind of like these plainish ones that are still kind of fun. Phoenix Rising, that's one of my favorite ones, and that kind of reminds me of summer a little bit, so I will click that one. And then once you've clicked your wallpaper, you can also add your own and find a photo or choose an image that you like. Very similar to my Google things where you can either pick a file or find one from the web, but I generally just pick one of the ones from the gallery because I like the ones that they have, so, but that's my personal preference. So again, I'll hit the back arrow and I've now chosen my wallpaper. The theme kind of gets chosen when you choose your wallpaper. So I don't generally change that. You may not be able to change it unless you buy the paid version. Then your post color is either going to be dark or light. I usually just keep it on whatever is already highlighted, and if I don't like it, you can always go back and change it. You can change the font to something different. You don't get a lot of options, but I kind of like the Snagger one is pretty. But you can see the font was changing over here. You can choose an icon. Mine, I don't think I have one right now, but I'll put a little apple for a teacher. For that. This is where you get to choose if you want things posted anonymously or you want names put on posts and things like that for your on your Padlet when your students or whoever is posting on your Padlet. So this posting section is where you make these decisions. The attribution, you can display the author name above each post. So if you want the person's name on each post, you're going to highlight that so it turns it on. It will force someone to put their name on their post, okay? It won't automatically record their name, but it will ask them to put their name on the post. You can turn it on or turn it off. Yellow means it's on, gray means it's off. You can choose where you want a new post, like so first and last. You can make it appear first or you can make it go last. It doesn't really matter. They're all just going to get scattered on there to begin with, so it's cool. And then I like this part of it because, you know, kids these days, they like to test the waters a little bit. And so the profanity filter will replace bad words with little emoji characters. It's kind of a nice way, so if some kid were to type a bad word, you would get an emoji. I generally turn this on when I'm using it with students. With adults, they tend to know better, but with students, I generally turn on the profanity filter. The collaboration section is where your when people post, they can also comment on other people's posts. I like to turn this on because I like to require my students to comment and collaborate with other people. So I generally turn that one on as well. You can also add a reaction, so you can like posts or things like that if you want. I generally do like a little liking post. I don't generally give a grade on a Padlet, but I will allow my kids to like what other kids type and things like that. You can do a tag, so you can search for the Padlet. I generally don't, but you can. You can change the name of the Padlet if you wanted to. Whoops, I'm sorry. I just accidentally put something in there I didn't mean to. I usually just keep it whatever it is, and I'm done with it because I just copy and paste it and put it in my Google Classroom, and my kids just click on the link. So I don't generally change it. You can. I'm not going to. But then you would click. What? I don't generally make errors. What happened? I bet it doesn't like that I tried to change that. So we'll do summer vacation. We'll just title it summer vacation. How about that? So then you click next. And then this is where you can choose who can see your Padlet. Right now you can see that my Padlet is secret. I generally never make them secret or password protected or private because then I can't remember the password. I usually just make it public. Anyone can find it. That's fine. People can use my ideas. That's fine. I don't really care. Those with access, you can either just read the posts, but you can't add them. You can write posts or you can moderate. Never give moderating privileges to your students unless you want them to be able to edit and approve other posts. I usually, when I'm using it with kids, I just do can write. You can add contributors, so if you wanted 2 students to work collaboratively on a Padlet, they can add each other's email addresses, and that way they both can get on and work on the Padlet together, but that's only if you want them to be working on it together. I am a teacher, and I know that we're always short with resources, so I always allow for people to copy my Padlet and use it, just because I'm like, if I thought of it, maybe another teacher needs it. I don't know. So I always allow for people to remake my template. But they copy it. They don't ruin the work that you've done. But yeah, you can require an administrator or a moderator to approve the posts. I generally don't do that just because that would be a lot of things coming into my email to approve, but you can if you want. And then hit next, and it says, oh, you're all set, start posting. And so then you are put on this blank page, and you can click the pink plus button, and it will pop up with a box, essentially. And so I am going to make a title out of it. So this is, I finished graduate school. Whoops. And then I can say I graduated from, I spelled that wrong, from Loyola, yay! And maybe I want to upload a file about it. Like maybe I scanned my diploma on here and I want to pick my file, and I can click whatever. I don't have my diploma yet, so it doesn't matter. But you can add a file, a picture, or whatever. You can link something. Maybe you have a website you want to link to, or a video on YouTube. My kids are real into making YouTube videos. So they may have a YouTube video to upload it to. You can take a picture with your webcam. Find an image on Google. I mean, it doesn't have to be an image from your computer. It can be just a generic image, like maybe you went to Disney World, so you're taking the Disney World icon from Google. You can record something from your voice, like you can voice record it instead of typing it. I have a lot of students with very poor typing skills, and maybe it would be easier for them to just record a little blurb of what they did. They can draw it, they can map the location, they can link another Padlet. I doubt they would, but they can do all these different things. So I will just add a picture so you can see. I'll add the picture I added on another one so you can see how easy it is, and then it'll just pop up right in my little box. If I don't like it, I can get rid of it. That's obviously has nothing to do with my graduation to Loyola. But and then people can comment on it. Wow, awesome. I mean, I'm commenting literally on my own post, but that's okay. And then you can like it. More people can add comments. And students are not, you don't just have to post one. You can post multiple things and keep posting. And if you don't like your post, you can trash it. And the only other thing I'm going to show you guys before I end my session or end my screencast is how to share it. So you click share. We've already been over all of this stuff. So you can copy the link. Sorry, I don't know why it's not working. Well, the link is up here. You can just copy and paste it right here. But you can share it to different places and or download